Morning. Don't know how well this will work out, but this is my latest playthrough of Satisfactory, and you said you'd like to see it, so I thought I'd take a short video of it. As you'll see in the bottom left, I've got 5 hours into this, which in Satisfactory, did I say Factorio? I hope not. Anyways, in Satisfactory is not and it has a new feature. There's now water, there's tubes to carry liquids. There's water pumps. Oh, I should probably take this down. That was just used for building. It doesn't need to be there. But I have 3 water pumps feeding 8 coal power generators. And water works in an interesting way where these 2 back ones join up over here and they send water up this way, and it comes over here, and then I have a 3rd one that joins the line here because water can only hold, or pipes can only hold 300 meters cubed per second of water. So I have to have the water come up and drain through these guys, or these guys use it up, and then I add more so that I have enough to get to the end. But each one of these things, each one of these is making 75 megawatts, and so I have 8 of them, so I have 600 megawatts of capacity, but I'm only using, right around 140. I try to overbuild at the beginning so that I don't have to come back and mess with stuff. So this is my power base, and I put it off here by itself because it was just easier. I haven't figured out what else to do with him yet. I try not to hit these guys, but you do just clip right through them. But I still try not to hit them. Another doggo. So we can follow the power poles back to my main base. It's not far. Oh, you asked about trucks. This is the truck that they added. I think they had this a while ago. I want to say it was in the first version I ever had. If you look in the bottom right, you can actually automate its path, and it will drive in a repeatable circles. And if you put stations at each end, it can make can pick stuff up and drop stuff off, and automatically refuel itself, and be an automated little thing. But it kind of is a pain, and it's almost easier to run belts instead. I mean, unless you're going all the way across the map. It wants to go out, so I'm not going to pause this because I'm streaming it. So you'll just have to deal with me going AFK for a minute. I'll be back in a second if I can get my truck to stop. I don't want to come back and be on the other side of the map. That was an iron ore mine I passed on the right. I still have version 1 of the mines. Right now I'm working on getting to version 2 of the miners so that I can double their output. But I'll be right back. Oh, pardon me. Okay, so back at the main base. Let's start over there. This is the whole goal of the game, is to feed this thing resources, and this is how you get higher and higher tech levels. So right now I need to make 500 smart plating, 500 versatile framework, and automated wiring, 100. And when I do that, that will move me to the next, that'll get me to tier 5 and 6. This is the hub where you do all your research. If we look at, I have completed 0, 1, 2, and 3. Right now I'm trying to work on advanced steel processing, which will give me that miner Mark II. And the automated wiring and everything at Mark III before I actually unlock anything else. So in order to unlock the next miles, or milestone. At the upper right hand corner you'll see I've already delivered 300 concrete, 1500 wire. What I have to deliver is 200 rotors and 200 steel pipe. I can't point the mouse there, it just changes which way I look. Oh wow. A new thing they've added is this this machine here. This is the Awesome Sink. It's exactly what it sounds like. You feed it stuff you don't want anymore. And coupons in this machine here, which is the Awesome Shop. This feels like a place where they might add items you can purchase for cash, because purchases is a hint, but there's nothing here yet. So until they actually do that, I'm not going to complain too much. Getting these tickets is an exponential thing. The higher, the more tickets you've gotten, the more the next one costs. This is the MAM, where you actually research other technologies not related to anything. These just help you in the game. For instance, I still haven't done that one. Where's a good one? Here I'm trying to get this one, which is Object Scanner Improvements, which needs 5 hard drives, which I have to go find. So these are just storage for various things that I have coming along. The bottom floor of my first factory is here, and I have it broken into 2 sections. This side is copper, and I am so early into the game. I have more than I need with 1 copper mine, which means that I'm not doing anything, essentially. This 1 copper mine has 120 ore per minute, which I smelt into copper ingots with these machines here. I was trying to learn how to do underground feeding, and I learned it, and it works. And I'm not a huge fan. It's an awful lot of work to save a little bit of space, and space isn't a big deal. Well, it is, but so I have copper wire, and this is copper cable. Over there's copper cable. This is iron rods. This is a new thing, copper sheet. That's new to the game in patch 3. It's used for making tubes. The game doesn't do clipping perfectly. There was So this is my this is my newest part of the factory. These are all iron ore smelters. And what I did is I made a racetrack of them going this way, and I have 3 belts. Each of them are carrying 120 copper or iron ore a minute up. And this is for my rotor production factory, which I don't have yet. And there's also a 4th one, which I left room for, at least I hope I did. This is also a pure iron node, but I can't get rid of that rock yet. I haven't found the technology to do that. It's essentially dynamite. I know what I need to do, I just don't remember how to unlock it. It's alright, I don't need it right now anyway, so. Up here I have more iron ore smelters. And these iron ore smelters, there's 8 of them. Nope. Is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 8. I'm making 120 rods from that. Those rods get fed along into 10 more machines to make screws, and the screws are going up over here. So what I've discovered I like better, instead of building down, I like building up. So all of my inputs and outputs feed up, and then I can walk underneath everything. The other option is just to go straight out, and then the problem with that is then you have to jump over everything as you're trying to navigate your factory, which can be, a thing. Now, if I was any good at this, I could probably build more here, I don't care. I just built another floor. So this is temporary until I get hypertubes, and then I'll just use hypertubes to go around. So I have this nice pristine floor. I have 200 screws a minute coming up here, 200 screws a minute coming up over here, and over here is 120 iron ore a minute. I'm going to put down 4 I guess I could do them in the middle, right? Because no, those weren't constructors down there. Those were assemblers. Let's see. So, I don't know. This is about the middle here. I like to leave a little bit of space. And yes, I can fall off this, and I have several times. What I need to build are not constructors, assemblers. This is one of the first items that requires 2 inputs. So I want to make these rotors, which means I need 100 screws per minute. I just said I have 400 total coming up. So if I have 400 screws, then I need 80 iron rods. 80 iron rods is going to be almost that whole belt. I'll get 120 iron rods out of those 80 that are there. So I'll let 40 overflow. I'll probably take them up to the next floor, because actually no, there's not going to be a next floor. I'm going to do iron works to make those iron pipes somewhere else. I think. How can I make an iron pipe if I haven't unlocked? I do have basic iron stuff unlocked. So if I put down a constructor, steel pipe. Those are steel pipe. Okay, so I have to go and build. I have to go find steel is made. That's what I have to do. I have to get coal. Now I remember. I have a foundry now. That's what I haven't built yet. Oh. Do I have? Yeah, I'm making those. This is the most dangerous part of the game. For some reason, when you get on these things, you tend to jump. And if you jump over them, it makes for a bad day for me. Why I don't build those in the middle of the factory instead of on the edges, I don't. No, it's because I want to put the other things. Anyways. Over here, I believe, is where I'm making those iron frames. So, just to put down a foundry real quick. A foundry makes steel ingots with 45 coal and 45 iron ore. So I'm going to have to find more coal. I don't have, the only place I know where I have coal is over by my steel factory, over by my power factory is what I meant to say, which is where we started. And I'm not sure I want to ship steel that far. Oh, I should go get that box one of these days. Maybe I'll go look that way later. Anyways, this sort of concludes the tour of the base. I'm going to go and build the rest of the factory to get the rotors going. So I'm going to keep streaming. I am not a streamer, so I am probably not going to talk like a streamer would through the whole thing. I will yell at myself a lot because I will screw it up 100 times. And I've only got about 40 minutes, I think, until I have to start working. I have a lovely day left. I have to write some more swagger for something we will never actually do, but I don't want to tell my current boss that it's not going to happen. I just want to do what he says. So I need 3 more of these. One, 2. Bar construction over there, and I'm going to want to feed it down the middle. So let's do that. Well, let's put it there. And it's going to make rotors. We need 2. Now, how did I screw that up? Alright, before we go falling off this stupid thing, so the arrows on this thing indicate the directions. This is a splitter, so I'm going to be taking the orange orange side is in, the blue sides are out, so it splits it 1 to 3. I want to come from this side and go out the other sides. It will be immediately obvious why in a minute. Assuming I ever get this right. Okay, now I'm annoyed because it's lining up with the center of the stupid thing. That's why. So that's now in the right place, but because of the order I built that in, it's not actually connected. I hope they fix that someday, but you have to rebuild that piece. Down on the ground, I'm not going to mess with. So let's just put it in. Let's leave myself just a little bit of room. And now my dog wants back in, I think. I'll be right back. Alright, now comes the fun part, trying to get this one in the right spot. Don't build it backwards. Alright, that was too close. Was it lined up right though? No. I think that's where we want it. Let's see. Well, technically I think, oh no, it's off. I hope that's where I want it. Technically, I could put it closer. Why does it look like... Yeah. Oh, I see what I did. Because I wanted to give myself more room. Let's put this like this. And then we'll actually need a little conveyor. That's fine. And then if we do that, another splitter. There. Okay, and we need the edge of this. That's 1 over, I think. And we're going to want it on just this side. Nope, no good. Closer to me and closer to there. So that should be lined up. Let's try that. Does that look? No, not. Oh, that's because, again, because I built this before, it automatically connected. There, now they look the same. And now we can belt that. So there's that. Not a constructor and assembler. So once you get fabulous. I was hoping to get this done before I had to start work this morning, but I don't think that's going to happen. that isn't in the right place. Okay, so if that's there, let's just take this and do you see how lucky I just got? I apparently took out these two floor pieces and didn't notice. If I'd fallen there, I'd have been okay though. So let's just take this, stick it there. And the reason we want to do that is for spacing purposes. You know what? We're not going to bother building it up. Now here I want constructors. So that appears to have lined up with that. And if that's true, then all I need to do is get this lined up here. I think it's one space. No, these are constructors. I was thinking of smelters. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, 4. Alright, so that is 8 constructors. Now the trick with 8 constructors, in order to evenly split the 120 input belt, you want to split it, I think. You know what? I don't need the full 120, and it'll work out fine. I'm just not going to bother. This is this is the right spot by accident, do you? And it doesn't look pretty, but that actually works. The one thing I haven't run is power. I do suppose I want to make sure it actually does work. We will do power more correctly later. That's the problem with this game. Everything's always temporary. Let's do this before I forget, because I'll forget, and then I'll be mad later. So these are just the Tech 1 power poles. So you'll notice that it said 3 of 4. It now says 4 of 4 because they can only have 4 connections. I need to unlock the better poles. So if we want to power these from the front, There. I have a connection left on each side. I do. So I can go to there, which will go to there, 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 there. And then we'll come from here. Oh, you're already at 4. So then we'll just keep coming across this way. Okay, so let's prove that this worked by saying, you please make iron rods, and presto poof, it's making iron rods. I'm sorry. See, it's making iron rods. And because we're not doing this up to, yeah. I don't know why I keep using conveyor belt Mark IIs. I really shouldn't be. These things output 15 a minute. That's the wrong thing. I knew something didn't look right. Did I put the wrong thing in over here? Okay. Oh, I know what I forgot. That should be making rotors. And red. What I didn't do well, this is a mistake. I screwed this all up, and I'm just going to deal with it for now because I actually can't fix it. I would have to tear this whole factory apart. This piece of stuff is going to have to carry 200 items a minute, which is why I split this into 2 belts, and I don't have that tech yet. I can only carry 120 a minute, which means that these will not be running at 100% efficiency. So it'll take longer to build my rotors, but building the rotors will give me the tech to carry 200 a minute, and then I can fix it. That's terrible. And that's why it takes me forever to do anything in this game. That's the wrong thing. I want a merger, not a splitter. But technically, if you want to be, completely, it doesn't make a difference what I do here, because this is all temporary. This is just enough so I can get to the next tech level, and when I get to the next tech level, I can start really building a base. These are just little baby bases. If you've ever watched anybody really play this game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Splitter. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know, some of these don't feel right. Huh. Leave it to me. That doesn't look right, does it? What the heck am I doing here? And of course, I'm out of building materials. Now, I think if I can manage this, I think I can actually fall this far without taking damage, but, you know, apparently not. What I need are these things over here. So this is not the most efficient way to do this. It would be better if I took the first splitter and fed it halfway down. But because I have so many of these coming, this thing's internal input will actually fill at 100. And when it does, it'll stop trying to feed it until it asks for one. So then this one will do it. Oh. No, 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 no. That's not what we want. Shoot. Did that actually get built? If it did, it's going to be somewhere on a splitter or on a belt. Sitting, trying to go into a machine. Oh, did I not tell you guys to build what to build? Rotor. Rotor. Why aren't you getting screws? Oh, because I still don't know why that's red. I forgot to connect that to... Oh, are you kidding me? See, I can build these things wrong 16 different ways. You're getting screws now? Yes. Slowly, but you're getting screws. I don't remember where I was. Iron rod. rod. So, iron rod going there, all the way down. All those are hooked up, I think. Oh, look at this. So I'm looking to make sure, yeah, I'm seeing iron rods come out of all those. There's a second, first, second, third, fourth. Alright. So, and now we should have a full contingency of iron bars. Why are you stacked up? Oh, because you have all the rods you can hold and all the screws you can hold, and you are making a rotor. And you're doing okay. So I'm actually making 120 iron rods per minute, which is way more than I need, and that will eventually back up, and I should overflow them into something, but I honestly don't care. What I do care about is doing something intelligent with these rotors, and I'm not exactly sure what that is. I think I'm going to put them in a box down there, because I don't want to have to keep coming all the way up here. The question is, where do I want to put them? I wonder if I could... Now, if I was any good at the game, which I clearly am not, I could actually put another storage container right there. And again, this is not a great place to put this. But that's where I have my other stuff, so... Since this is on the same factory, this is all connected, it's on the same grid, I should be able to build a conveyor merger. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's terrible. Right next to it, yeah. I'm going to run out of steel plate. Maybe not. Now I do want to go down some, so... We just want to make sure his output is in the right place. This is a new feature they added where you can select lots of stuff and deconstruct it once. Alright, that's lined up with that. And there we go. I missed it, but you can actually see them coming out there. The important part is there should be nothing yet, nothing in its output. Let's see, now it's waiting for screws. That's because I don't have enough coming in. I'm making them. I just made my assembly factory wrong, and what I need is the next tier of belt, and this problem will go away. And of course I built this at the same height as those, which means this will end up going through it. So I have to build this a little bit higher. Let's build it here, I guess. Just make sure that's far enough away. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. 2, 3. Put the output there. 4. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is just going to annoy me. Most treacherous part of this game, going down a ladder. I believe I have a spare box of iron plate just sitting here waiting for something to do. But while we're here, let's see if this idea worked out or not. Yep, here they come. And I will need 200 rotors. There you go. We got screws going in everywhere. We have rods going in everywhere. I did all the math right. I did all this building right, and then I screwed it up here. That's terrible, Tony. I mean, all I have to do is replace this one section of belt. You can actually see screws are just continuously going over this at 120 screws per minute. But I need more than that. And that's the problem. Anyways, this was my tour of my Satisfactory base. Later this afternoon, after work, I will be building steel pipes. And hopefully progressing towards the next. Oh, that was fabulous. Not bad. There's 50. I only need 200. I don't expect... I think this was all backup from all the time they were building. Yeah, there's the gap. We should be building 4 a minute times 4, so we should be building 16 a minute. But that... I wonder if I can run up this without dying. So one thing you used to be able to do, and I think you still can, this support is not needed anymore. I just have to join the belts back together. It doesn't look super wonderful, but it does its job. Kind of satisfying. Thus the name, Satisfactory. No, I'm not any good at it. I'll probably never get to endgame, because in order to get to endgame, you have to be building so many resources per minute. I don't think I have the interest or the time, but it's fun building this stuff. You see these yellow things, that means they're... I really don't. Right, those are making screws. Those screws should be coming off that assembly line as fast as it possibly can. Oh, because it's backed up by that one belt. That one belt backs up the whole works. Right, that one belt that can only carry 120 a minute but needs to carry 200 is backing everything up, because these screw machines now have to wait to output because there's no room in its output. See, this is all backed up. That's crazy. What am I building over there that it's still making screws? Seems kind of crazy. Oh, that's my compressed steel plate. And whatever line. Yeah, that's building these right here. Guess it's just backfilling something. Yeah, see, it's building a reinforced iron plate. Makes 5 per minute. I have 2 of them. If you watch, these machines are actually very, very well done. They do the same thing no matter what they're building, I think. But it's still kind of neat to watch. See, it takes parts from here, inputs, or 3 or 4 inputs. I don't think I've ever gotten there. Anyways, we're over halfway to all my stuff's failed because I fail at all video games. Talk to you later.